Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Sri Tips here, and what I want to take a look at today is how to determine when we buy these sterling silver pieces that have a steel blade and a sterling handle, what's a good way to determine how much silver we're getting here and how much we should be paying for it. These are solid sterling silver pieces. Spoons and a fork here, and if you look at it right on the back there, it says sterling right in the metal, and that's how we know that these are actual sterling silver pieces. I have not yet come across a piece that was marked sterling like this that turned out to be not solid sterling silver. So for now, we can rely on these markings to determine whether or not we've got solid sterling. These pieces are easy to determine their value. We just put them on a scale, and we can weigh it and see how much silver we're getting. But when it comes to these pieces that have a steel blade in them and a sterling silver handle, it's hard to place a value on these. We can't just put these on the scale and then determine how much silver we have, because we have to take out for the steel blade, and there's some cement material, some filler inside of here. This is not a solid sterling handle. It has some cement filler in there. We're going to take that apart and take a look at that right now. This is typically what you see when you come across a set of sterling silver. This is a larger piece, and this is going to contain probably about 20 to 23 grams of sterling silver, depending on the thickness of this metal. This is a smaller handle here, so this is probably going to have anywhere from 12 to 15 grams of sterling silver. Alright, let's start with this piece right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my gloves on, because this metal's razor sharp and it will cut you if you don't have some gloves on. The best way to do that, these are a pain in the butt, but the best way I've found to do it is to break the integrity of the sterling silver with a pair of cutters like that. Alright, let's take all our metal that we just peeled off, put it up here on the scale, and as you can see, that particular handle gave us about 20 grams of sterling silver. Now what I do is I take the silver and I put it over here in my ultrasonic cleaner and get all the junk, the cement that adheres to it, get it off of there by running it through the ultrasonic cleaner. Alright, next let's do one of these pieces that has a smaller handle here. And as before, what I want to do is just take and use a pair of cutters and just break the integrity of the metal right there at the top, and then I go through and just peel it back until I get all the metal peeled off of the piece. See that cement down in there? You don't want to count that. That's not metal. That's kind of plaster of Paris type cement. Okay, that was a serving knife, and I peeled all the silver off of the handle and got rid of the cement. So now let's weigh the metal that we got out of that one. You'll see it's got 13 grams. Same thing, I just take this over here now and put it in the ultrasonic and clean it off real good. Okay, that was off of a large butter knife. Let's see what kind of metal we got out of that one. And you can see there 18.4 grams of sterling silver. When we buy these sets, I tend to use up the solid sterling that doesn't have any weighted material in it first, and then I just throw these in the back and save them. Now I've got a whole pile of these, so today what I'm going to do is sit here and peel all the material off of here. You don't have to do it that way. You can pound it with a hammer and it will all fall apart. You just shake the cement out of it, but I prefer to take it and peel it apart and run it through the ultrasonic. To me, it does a better job. One quick note here. I've got a fella's going to fabricate me a crucible tong to get the crucible out of my furnace. And this is a drawing I sent him. And I'll take the crucible over, let him take measurements on it so that he can build this for me. And then once we get that in, what I've got is my, I've got an old soup bowl here and a crucible, and what I'll do is once I get the tongs fashioned from him, I've got some thermal insulation. I'm just going to line this steel soup pot and use the burner that I have and fashion a furnace to melt about 3 kilos of silver all at once in this crucible. I'm out at my silver cell now. As you can see, the amps up here have dropped way off, and I think that is because my silver cell anode filter bag has become clogged up with slimes. If you look down into the cell, you can see that the silver is growing, but it's not full. And so what I'm thinking here is the slimes have built up in the anode filter basket and clogged it up, and it's impeding the flow. So the amperage is falling way off. Turn the power off. I'm going to take the electrode bar out and just set it up top here. And now what I have down here is some anode filter baskets that have been removed from previous refinings. I've got another basket here, and what I'm going to do is just take the used filter out that's full of slimes. This will be full of precious metals, so I want to save these, and I do save them, and I'll process them later on. Get this used filter out of here now from the silver cell, and just cover it up so nothing falls down in there. I've got a Dacron filter bag. Bought this at Ace Hardware. Just going to take it out of the bag here, and we're going to turn it inside out. And then I'm going to place the bag so that it forms a double filter just right on the side like this. It's just a paper tube from a roll of paper towel. I want to make sure the rubber is out of the way and the tag is out of the way, and I don't want no seams going down there if I can help it. And then now I stick the retainer lid over the top of the paper, and I just press down on the tube with my chin and fit the retainer ring onto the anode filter basket like that. Now I take a sharp razor and I just cut the excess material away all the way around. Now we're going to take our impure silver and load up the new anode filter basket with the impure silver granules. Let's take one quick look down in the cell again before we put the new anode filter in there. You can see that it does have silver crystal growing in it, but it wasn't full. It's not ready to harvest, and so that's why I'm going through this process to change out the filter, because the current flow was impeded. Alright, now let's turn on the power supply and see what kind of current flow we got now. Okay, as you can see, we got 0 current flow, and that's not uncommon when we put a fresh filter in place, because the electrolyte has to have time to soak through the filter material, make contact with the impure shot that's in that basket, and then complete the circuit. So we'll give this a few minutes and we'll come back out and check it. Here's another trick that we can pull to get the current flow established. I've got some electrolyte over here off to the side that I keep available to rehydrate the cell. I can pour a little of that in here, and what that'll do is that'll establish a flow. All right, I'm gonna get ready to set this in here. Let's see what the electricity does up here now. There it goes. There we go. Now we got the current flow back up over 1 amps, 1.24 amps, 1.25, and it'll probably rise as the cell operates. Okay, that'll do it for this video. The main focus here was to demonstrate how much silver we can expect to get off these handles. When I buy silver, if I see small handles, I count it as 10 grams so I can calculate how much to pay for it. If I see the larger handles on these larger butter knives, I count 15 grams, and that'll give me some fudge factor to allow me to get a decent price when I'm paying for the metal. So small ones, 10 grams, the larger ones, 15 grams. Okay, that'll conclude the video. Thanks for watching.